this out of practice. Do I know how to podcast? I don't know. Hey guys, it's been a minute. I'm Bella, the maker mama boss lady behind Fiverr and Fox, and I'm podcasting, which is something that I have done before and would like to do again. This is episode 64, but it's been a little bit. We've been having some just scheduling, not issues, but just life. So yeah, I'm back with episode 64. If you are new here, welcome. And if you've been waiting for me to come back, because I know you're just like, your main priority in life is waiting for me to podcast. It feels like that sometimes, like I'm letting the whole entire world down. Y'all fine, I know, but I appreciate you coming back. Thank you for subscribing and turning on notifications and all of that. I appreciate all of you guys. But I'm Bella and I am a crochet designer and I also knit, and I just like to talk about it with you guys when I can. Typically I had a every other week, bi-weekly. Big debate, is bi-weekly every other week or twice a week? No one knows. But I was podcasting every other week prior to having my son. He is 8 months old now. And then it's kind of just been all over the place since then. But this morning, it's a Saturday morning. It's very cloudy out and this sweater is definitely washing me out and I feel like I look like a bowl full of mush, but it's okay. It's cloudy and my sleeping in child woke up at 6:15. And my early riser child just got up at almost 9:30. So I don't know what's happening today, but I was like, here you go, Jojo. I'm going to try and podcast. So they're going to go eat breakfast and stuff. And if you hear some background noise, I have a family and they're here. So that's that. But I have quite a bit of things to talk about. Crochet, knit, and yarns and all the good stuff. So let's get right into that. Before I start off with what I'm wearing, I will let you know everything that I talk about is going to be linked down below the video. Yarns, when I can find them, patterns, all of that. Show notes will be in the description box of the video. As one does with podcasting, you probably know the drill, but I like to let you know and I try to be thorough about giving credit where it's due. So rolling into designs, it's not out yet, but I have designed the thing, which is exciting because again, with the new baby and just 2 kids, I feel silly not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. I am so thrilled to be a mom of 2 kids. But not even venting. I don't know what the right word would be. Just speaking about finding the balance for my business and my hobbies and balancing 2 small children. I feel kind of silly about it because obviously there's so many people in the world who have had 2 children, have more than 2 children, have much more, like have multiples or have children closer together in age, younger ages, all of that. So my daughter is 4.5 and my son is 8 months, and just figuring out the balance of when to like record and when to design and do business stuff. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm a homeschool mom, and my family is my utmost priority, and business and crochet and all of that can take a back burner for however long it needs to, whatever. I'm very privileged that my husband is the main income and I get to do this on the side as it works within my family schedule. But figuring out with my daughter, when I started filming, she was a little bit older. I think she was over 1, but it was like I filmed when she was asleep. But now, if my son's asleep, my daughter's not necessarily asleep and vice versa. So figuring out pockets of time and then having my husband or someone to supervise the children if they're not asleep and all of that, it's just been complicated. And I feel silly saying that because obviously so many of you are moms and there are so many moms in the world doing much more complicated things than filming podcasts and all of that. But my Instagram friend Ruth of Orchard House Designs, she's a tech editor, Orchard House, Ruth. She was like, yeah, but 2 kids is the most kids you've ever had. And I was like, yeah, you know what? That's true. It is the most kids I've ever had. And just figuring out how that works has been a learning experience, a really good one. So grateful, but just, it's been different. And we're going into, this is more rambly about family than I usually get, but we're going into that phase where he can almost crawl now. Like he gets up on his hands and knees and he tries to move forward, but only his head goes and he can't figure out how to make his legs and stuff go with him. And it's very sad because he crashes on his face a lot. But I'm just kind of in terror because with my daughter, like we had the outlet covers and we picked up all the tiny things and I put away the stitch markers and it was like, okay, I'm obviously going to supervise you and not let you get into tiny stuff and I can clean it up and it's not too big of a deal. I put away the cat toys, all of that. But now I have a 4-year-old and she owns so many tiny things. And it's like, how do I baby-proof the house with a 4-year-old? I don't know. So just all the new learning experiences in this new phase of life have been, it's just fun. It's different and it's fun. So thank you for allowing me the grace and the time and all of that. I was talking about design. That's what we were talking about here. I have a new design that I have mostly written up. It's graded. I just need to polish up the pattern and do like the schematic and like yardage estimates and stuff. And I would love to have it out to testers this summer. But again, it's going to happen when it happens. And I'm going to have to put in some footage because it's really hard to, I don't think I can stand up. I'm going to try, but I don't think I really can. This is a Ruana, which is basically a giant blanket shawly, not shawl, giant blanket wrap cardigan. It's like a giant blanket cardigan, basically. I'm sure you've seen them. And I personally wear them a lot. Maybe not so much in the summer, but it could be functional as like a beach cover-up as well. But I like them all the time because I love a big boxy layer, big boxy in general. But I really like them with a baby. It's just not going to be put out as like a mom with a baby pattern, but I find them super functional for nursing, super great for like if you need to quick wrap up a baby, like, oh, it's a little chilly outside, wrap this around the baby. I can wear it over the baby carrier and like, oh, it's so sunny, let me drape it over his head. And quick, like, oh, I need to put a blanket down on the ground. Just a really functional piece. So it's basically like wearing an extra blanket all of the time and without having to carry a swaddle or something with you. And it's cute and I like it. So that's my pitch for Ruanas, either handmade or otherwise. But this one is going to be graded. I usually do all my patterns in at least 8 sizes. This one I think is going to end up being 4 sizes in that it's like the extra small and smaller, one size together, medium, large is one size, because it's not like a super fitted thing. So there'll be recommended ease in there, but it's a beast of a thing and it's nice and big and drapey, and I love the stitch pattern. It is crochet, but it has a very knit-like feel, which is one of my favorite things. If you've been around here, I am very much a make knitters jealous. Feel free to use that hashtag, crochet designer, where I like to produce knit-like pieces that the knitters are like, wait, that's crochet? So I enjoy that a lot. I haven't quite named this yet. I am pondering calling it the Make Way Ruana, only because my daughter, when she was about 2, had a real solid Moana face. And if you're familiar with Moana, there's a song where they're like, Moana, make way, make way. That's my best rendition of that. So anytime I wear a Ruana, we always sing, Ruana, make way. But I don't know if I really want to do a Disney homage, type pattern, because it really has nothing to do with that at all. And I'm not a major Disney fan these days. So I don't know if I'm going to end up calling it that, if you have any suggestions. But basically it is a big paneled, the only bit of seaming that you have to do is this little bit under the arms and then at the shoulders, just to provide some structure. It's got a nice ribbing along the edge, again, crochet. And it just, yeah, I will put in footage, but it's really pretty and really drapey. So that's going to be coming for a tester call eventually. I always do tester calls over on Instagram, and I send them out in my mailing list as well. So if you are interested in testing for me, you should make sure you are on my mailing list, because who knows with Instagram algorithms. But I will always send that out and pick testers from there. So when I get that good to go, I'll be looking for you. But the yarn that I used for this one, I think, where did I put it? I have a lot of things today. Bear with me. I put it in the box, it's just at the bottom of the box. Yes. The yarn that I use from this one is a commercially made, readily available, at least within the US, Yarn Bee Bambootiful, which is a ridiculous name, but it's 50% cotton and 50% viscose from bamboo, which is a blend either by this company or any other. I really like 50-50 cotton bamboo blends. It has a beautiful drape for summer, and it doesn't have that dry, stiff feel of cotton on its own, which is what this top is. I'll talk about that in a second. It doesn't feel like a dishcloth. It's the bamboo makes it very, very, is this how we demonstrate drape? I don't know. Very, very drapey. And the gauge that it's done at is very, I don't know if you can see there, yeah. Very, very open and light, so it would be appropriate, maybe not for the humidity in, I don't know, the Carolinas in the summer or something, but pretty appropriate for multiple and many times of year. And again, great with a baby. So Ruana pattern will be coming, I hope, by the fall, which seems so far away. But again, I am giving myself grace on doing this when I can, how I can, and prioritizing family first. That's always been my thing with being a maker mama boss lady. So that's where I'm at on the design. And then the other thing that I'm wearing is, just to give credit, I really regret this color choice. I really regret it. It's a cute yarn, but it does not look good on me. It was another Yarn Bee yarn. I have some back there, but I'm not going to dig it out. But it's a cotton mixed with, I think, polyester. It has like little bits of color running through it, and I held it double. So I think it was a lace weight or very fine fingering weight, and I held it double to get like a DK weight gauge. This is the Olori sweater tee by La Knits Apparel, I think is her tag, Lanray. This was one that I had tested. It has really pretty raglan increases, and it could, I would imagine, be easily made into a long sleeve if you wanted to just wing some sleeves on it, but it's a short sleeve, kind of boxy fit raglan tee with a really wide neckline. And I really like the pattern, but the yarn that I chose is, again, it was like 98% cotton or something with the little bits of color wrapped around it. Really pretty, but it has that like grandma's dishcloth kind of feel to it. So it's very stiff, and I don't find it particularly breathable. And cotton kind of absorbs, I mean, that's its job. It absorbs moisture. It doesn't wick as well as like a wool does. So in the summer, if I'm sweaty, which I'm a mom, I'm baby wearing and nursing and all of that, and it's a sweaty job. This is not going to be a summer friendly. So I figured I'd wear it for today, and it's cloudy and I'm inside and it's fine, but come summer, it's a little tricky. But I do really like the pattern, and it's very cute. So if I had picked a better yarn, it would be better. So sweater tee, Olori sweater tee, Olori tee. I'll link it below. So that's what I'm wearing. Wow, we are like 15 minutes in, and we are just waffling on about all the things. Let's see, finished objects. Let's talk about those. Finished objects, if I remember correctly, one of these was done last time, and I was working my way through the second sock, but I finished both. I only have one on a blocker because the other blocker's holding another sock, but both of my Herding Cat socks by Stone Knits. Super cute, and I talked extensively about these in the last episode, so I'm not going to go on too much, but basically what I've learned is I don't like all over colorwork socks. One of my goals for the last couple years has been to tackle colorwork, and I feel like I have done that now. This is my second pair of colorwork socks of the year, but the first one that I did only had the colorwork up below the cuff and then right before the toe, and it just allowed for me to get a better fit and to do a heel flap that I liked better, because with all over colorwork you kind of need to do a short row heel. Doesn't fit me well, and it just got to be, at least with this motif, it's super cute. There's cats everywhere. I messed it up a couple times, but super adorable, and it was originally written so that each little row of cats was a different color in like a mini skein, which I think would have made it more interesting, but I opted to do it all one color. I really like the contrast that I got, but it got to the point where I was really just sick of knitting the same cat chart in the same color twice for a sock. And you can see this one's blocked out, and this one is not. I didn't block it yet, just to show you. Hopefully you can see the difference that blocking color work makes. So I'm not the greatest color work knitter. I mean, these are my floats in here. People love to look at floats, don't you? Not the most consistent looking things, but and definitely like where the needles met on the sides, I have a lot of like puckering, because I had a hard time tensioning in between, like right there is pretty bad, tensioning in between my needles, but overall it blocked out pretty well. And these are more of a comfy fit, because I went up to a larger size knowing that the color work would be a little tighter. So these are definitely thicker winter socks. I'm not really wearing socks anymore anyway because it's almost June. It's May. But the yarns that I used, I really liked the combination of the two. The purple is from a local dyer, Sassy Black Yarns. And I think she's got a thing for purple because her logo is that color too. And last time I was kind of going on about why the name was Eggstravaganza. I was thinking Easter, I was thinking chickens, and I was like, why is this, not that it matters, you can name your yarns whatever you want, but I didn't get the reference. And then someone was like, is it for eggplant? I think it must be for eggplant. Eggstravaganza, like eggplant, not like an Easter egg hunt, not like a chicken farmer, like eggplant. So that makes a little more sense, or purple eggs, whatever. So that was the main color. And then the contrast that I used was one that my daughter and I dyed together with some leftover tie-dye kit. So we love to do yarn experiments when we can. And that made a really cute pair of socks. So I like those a lot, but I think it's going to probably be, unless I find something really astoundingly beautiful, probably my last all over color work. I think I'm going to stick to just the little details, either up top or down below or both. So I can work on the heel that I like and just have a little bit of respite from the color work in between. Although that does kind of do some weird things with tensioning, and you have to kind of change needle sizes and la-di-da. But yes, these are done. Herding cats, super cute. I'm very proud that I have tackled the color work socks. Memory card got full, so sorry I have that chopped off in an odd place. We were on a roll there. But my next finished object is the lace cardigan with a little bit of modification, but not too much, by Mon Petit Violon. Who is one of my all-time favorite little girl crochet pattern designers. She has so many lovely lacy and floral and just really dainty, feminine little girl makes. Most of which are baby size and up to toddler, but I think she has some in larger sizes as well. But this is a pattern that I've made. This is probably like the 7th, 8th. I don't even know how many times I've made it. This is obviously not for my daughter, my son, but I have a cousin who is having a baby in August, and her shower is coming up in a couple weeks, and I wanted to make her one of my all-time faves. And she is definitely not someone that's super frilly, girly, feminine, pinks and neons and all of that aesthetic, which is pretty much where I'm at too. My daughter's winning me over on the ruffles and the sparkles and all of that because she can like her own things. But for me, I very much like the grays and the neutral kind of vibe. I'm not one of those boring beige moms. If you're one of those boring beige moms, it's okay. But I'm not one of those make my children only wear beige things. That sounded judgy, but I do love color. Whatever. I do love color. But yeah, I'm just not into the floral prints and the everything hot pink and neon and pastel kind of stuff. Which again, if you are, is fine. You do you. But lace cardigan. And I think I made it weeks ago. I don't remember what size I made. Maybe the 1 to 3 month. No, this is bigger than that. 6 to 12, I think I did. But there's many sizes in the pattern, and it has a pretty little lace yoke and then just all over lace body. I added the ruffles on the bottom and the picots on the sleeve. And it is a, I believe, worsted weight pattern. I don't even know anymore because I've adapted it so many times, but I made it this time in, are you worsted weight or DK? You are not sport weight. Really? This claims it's sport weight. You feel like a worsted weight. Are you kidding me? All right. That's what that says it is. And it's 100% acrylic, but it's that kind of soft and shimmery, not crunchy feeling. I'm on a yarn bee kick, obviously, in the colorway Anchor, Yarntopia. Yarntopia. But highly recommend this pattern, and I really enjoy it. It's easy enough to modify. I've added ruffles, I've added more buttons, I've turned it into a dress, I think. I've done all sorts of things with it, and it's usually my go-to baby shower make. So I wanted to make this for my cousin. I also have a little pair of booties that I made for my son that did not fit him, that he never even got to wear. So I'm gonna gift her those, and then I got her, it's over there, I was gonna show you. She's a chicken mama. I got her a lavender scented weighted, because that was something my daughter really loved, and still to this day sleeps with like a weighted, you can heat it in the microwave type lavender scented owl that is her best friend. So I got her a chicken version of that, and it's really cute. So sweaters and booties and a chicken, normal stuff. So that is finished, and I will get that wrapped up, and I think that's it for finished objects. I may have finished something else somewhere in there, but it's been like a month, so this is what you're gonna see this time. For works in progress, I have a half finished object, or half of a pair. This is the Mermaid Avenue socks by Summerlee Knits, and it's got this really pretty, I suppose it's supposed to be like scales design. It kind of reminds me of dragons, honestly, because again, dragons over mermaids over here, but really pretty. I don't know if it's picking, yeah, it's showing. Really pretty, scaly, like slip stitch pattern texture, and yeah, it's a lovely sock. Again, these ones are a little bit bigger on me because they have slip stitches, so I went up a little bit in size, and I would rather have them a little big than a little too small. So these are going to be kind of slouchier. And I made them a little shorter than I would typically because I'm working with some scrap yarn that I've used before. But the main color is, I believe, by Beach Bum Yarns, and I weighed it before I started the project so I could then weigh it again and stop at halfway. But I forgot how much it weighed initially, so I could figure it out and do some subtraction and cross multiplication and I don't know, some math or something. But I don't remember how much it weighed. I think it was either 54 or 58 grams. I think I'm going to make it through the second sock. We'll see. But this is by Beach Bum Yarns, and it might be a Christmas, New Year type colorway. It's called Old Lang Syne. But I got this at a local yarn store. I think she's a dyer from Massachusetts, and I'm in Connecticut, so fairly local. And it's a really, really pretty color. Even if it was meant to be festive, I really love it. I love a mossy ferny green. And then this is a Lane and Lotus mini in maybe the colorway Olive Branch. Maybe the colorway Eden. Maybe, I don't know. But both fairly local dyers. All my socks have been in locally dyed yarns. That's pretty fun. Yeah, so this is the first time I've done a Summerly Knits pattern. She has a ton of really cute textured socks, and hers are always really colorful with like fun accent colors. And some of them are pretty basic, like just like ribbings and stuff, but she works in like fun stripes, and she had a sock sale a couple weeks back. So I grabbed this and a couple others. I definitely messed up. I don't know if you can tell. In here, I messed up the stitch repeat. I think it's like a 12-ish row repeat, if I remember correctly. And it's not hard, but I need to remember where I was. And I can read it in the knitting, but again, just the brain space for that is a little, maybe more than I need right now. So this isn't a completely mindless sock because I have to keep track of which row I was on. And then, yeah, if I put it down suddenly because somebody needs me, I get a little lost. So there's a couple spots where I fudge things a little bit, but it's okay. They're fine. They're socks. And hopefully I have enough to finish the second one, or they're going to be really interesting socks because I'm going to make a really long second sock toe or something. But I am kind of feeling the second sock syndrome. That's something I've never really dealt with before. And I think it's just the brain space that I'm working with right now. I could probably be better off working on some quick, mindless, like self-striping type projects. So I think the next pair that I cast on is going to be something either really easy to remember, like just like a ribbing texture, or something that's going to just go quick. I prefer textured over just like a vanilla sock because they fit better. They're not as like schlumpy, saggy. But yeah, my brain kind of needs something kind of simple right now. I don't know if you can tell that I'm like pinballing off of the walls in here, but yes. So that is my one half-finished object. And then I have an almost finished object, we'll call it. Because, again, I got through the simple bits, and now I just need to, like, divide for, I guess you'd call it sleeves, the straps of a tank top. So this is a slightly modified, and do I remember which modifications I did? Not entirely, because it's been, again, a while. Modified version of the Ellis tank by Quince & Co. I'm not sure who the designer behind it is, but it's a Quince & Co. pattern. And it is a simple, the original pattern photo is in a similar like orangey brown and either has a pale pink or a white stripe like this. And the striping is only on like your torso section, the below your bust torso, stomach, I don't know, whatever that area is. And then it's just plain orange on the straps and upper bust part. Or plain whatever color you're using. So the striping doesn't go throughout. And it's going to be kind of A-line fit, and I haven't tried it on, but I've held it up to a tank that I recently finished, the split back tank, and it's very similar in sizing. You can see it's got some short rows in the back there, and I think it's going to fit nicely. And I really like a linen cotton tank in the summer. I've really been feeling the tank tops, and A-line again is really easy with the stage of life that I am with nursing and all of that. A nice loose fit, which is kind of my favorite anyway. I do not like tight-fitting things. I keep seeing really cute patterns, and I'm like, ooh, that's cute. I'm not actually going to wear that, but it's really cute. I like drapey, boxy, flowy. That's just how I am. So I added a little bit of length to this, as I am a bit long in the torso. And it looks in the pattern photos like it goes just like right to her, not cropped, but like right to her hips, not her waist, her hips. And I wanted it just a little bit longer, not quite tunic, but below like where my pants would button. like regular. I don't know what I'm talking about. I made it longer. I think I added an inch or 2 inches, and I added some more striping. I think there was originally 7 stripes, and I think I have like 9 or something. You can count, whatever. But I added some more stripes, and then from here I just need to, this is like up to where the underarm is essentially, so I need to split the front and back and then do the straps, which shouldn't take too long. I just need to actually be sitting and paying attention and like count and math and stuff. But the plain stockinette bit was nice. We had gone up to Vermont a couple weeks ago, and it was a good car project and just stockinette in the round kind of thing. So I will work on splitting that and then hopefully have that done for the next episode and have it for summer. The yarn that I am using for it is some that I had gotten. Part of it's from a local yarn store. And they always put the price tag right over the label, but I think we've determined it's S. Charles, Stacy Charles, Filati di Italia? I have an Italian heritage here, but I'm going to kill that. But it's 77% linen and 23% cotton, and the yarn is Nina, and I think it's, yeah, Stacy Charles is a Taki Yarns brand. That's a lot of names. Taki Yarn, Stacy Charles, Nina, Italian brand thing, I don't know. But yeah, it might be discontinued usually when I get it on clearance at this local yarn store that it's no longer available elsewhere. I don't know if you can get it, but I do really like it. It's a very, I don't know what this texture of yarn is called. Is this chained? Chain plied? It's not blown, but it's not like plied together. It's like a net kind of thing. Chain ply, maybe? I don't really know the terminology. But it's very light, and it definitely has that cottony, linen-y feel to it, but this gauge is so open that it doesn't get stiff. You can see. Very open. I think I'm doing it on, what am I working with here? Size 7s. Which I don't remember if that was what was called for in the pattern or if I modified it. I keep doing things where like I buy fingering weight patterns and make them DK or DK and make them fingering weight. So I don't honestly remember what the pattern called for. But I added more stripes. I think I made, I'm trying to remember now. I think I may have started the bottom in a larger size and then decreased up to one size smaller, added extra decreases on the A-line shaping. I think that's what happened. I don't remember. You can look at the pattern. But I have more decreases than is called for. So yes, it is going to be lovely. I think the stripes that I'm doing, I ran out of one of the yarns, but it's one of the cones back there, held double with this other cone from Green Mountain Spinnery, middle ends. So I was holding a 2-plied one with a single-plied one for the stripes. And these are mystery woolly wool type things. This one feels, I don't know what they are. But so it's wool, but I'll just wash by hand accordingly so that the wool doesn't shrink up and the cotton gets weird if you throw it in the washing machine anyway. It gets kind of crunchy. So I will wash that by hand, and that is the only other work in progress I have right now. So I'm going to finish up those socks, finish up the tank, and then I don't know what I'm going to cast on next. Probably another tank top. And crochet-wise, I need to get this pattern, at least the draft of it, whether or not I get it to testers, I need to get the pattern writing bit done before I start another design because my brain cannot take anymore. But yeah, I'm kind of in a weird, not lacking of inspiration space, but just lacking of brain space for the inspiration mode where I just need really simple projects. And that is fool. That is fool. It's combined fine and cool, not fool. That's fine. And again, for summer, just to be able to take it outside with us quick or take it in the car. I need small and portable and easy projects. So if you have suggestions for great summer crochet or knit projects, hit me up. And then I have some acquiring, some yarns and such to share with you, kind of some random stuff. So let me rearrange here and then I will show you those. And this isn't yarn or necessarily yarn adjacent, but it's going to go in this craft room, art room, homeschool room, art studio, whatever this room is, which still haven't edited that video that I made 8+ months ago. It's coming. We're gonna birth it into the world like a baby. But my sister, who just turned 15, my youngest sister, made me a painting. I am not a painter. I am quite crafty in many regards, but painting is not something that I am very skilled at, especially, like, I can copy something, like if you give me a tutorial or a picture to mimic, I'm pretty good at drawing and painting, but I am not good at like pulling it out of my mind and making it a reality. My sister is. So she painted me this sweet little fox. Look at his cute little face. So this is going to go in my room somewhere. I love him. He's so sweet. I love his bright little eyes. Those little lips. This was just like a just because gift. She loves painting and she is fantastic at it. So I really love this. I need to name him. And I'm going to put him over there somewhere above my mannequin because he is precious. So I just wanted to share that with you because fiber and fox, we can talk about foxes too. So I will put you over here so you don't get scratched. And then just random yarn bits. I am on a mission to accumulate mini skeins of my own dyeing. So either we're going to be doing a bunch of natural dyeing throughout the summer with plants and the like, or as I have bits of dye available, like we had some leftover dye from Easter egg dyeing. My daughter and I dyed a couple skeins. So these three, my daughter and I dyed together with Easter egg dye, just left over that we dumped on some yarns. And I think you can get really fun results. They might not be as long lasting or like hold up to machine washing, but this is just like food dye and vinegar on some yarn soaked in citric acid. So pretty nice vibrant colors for having no idea what we're doing and being 4 years old. Fun mini skeins. And then this one is from dandelion flowers from our yard. That one's showing up kind of beige, but it's more of like a light sage green. It looks kind of beigeish. A very, very light beigey, sagey green. So just some fun mini skeins, and I will just share them with you as we dye them. But yeah, it's always fun to dye with her, and I love natural dyeing. No interest in doing it as a business or anything like that, but I really enjoy something that we love being outdoors, we love foraging, we love growing gardens and plants and things like that, and just being knowledgeable about plant life in our area. So natural dyeing goes kind of right along with that and combines some of my favorite hobbies. So we like to do that. And then I have some other yarn. I will show you these, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so on our trip to Vermont, we made a couple stops at various junk stores and thrift stores and antique stores, and there's like this one, it's literally a junk store. It's a thrift store, but in the sense of like, kind of like when you go to a garage sale and everything's in the garage in like super random bins and you're like digging for treasures. And some of the stuff might be broken and you're like, why are they selling this boombox from 1982 that doesn't actually even work? Like kind of vibe. A fun junk store like that. It's like in the basement of a building. And we have found some really fun stuff there, but it is like digging through a garage or a barn kind of sale. But they have occasionally some yarns and fun stuff. And I found, these are definitely older, but Woolly Nylon Extra, it's called. Extra fluffy, extra heavy, extra bulky. These are things you want in your life. It's nylon thread. And I'm assuming it went on some sort of a machine because it's on little coney bobbin things. And it's very bulky, fluffy, and stretchy. I can't really hold it and show you the amount of bulk and fluff and stretch we have here, but it's got it almost has an elastic feel to it, which nylon doesn't always, like a nylon thread doesn't really feel that way. But I grabbed these thinking they would be good for holding, it's very fine. Thicker than thread, but thinner. Might be like lace weight. I thought they would be good for holding double with socks, toes, cuffs, etc. For durability. To add some nylon in for yarns that maybe didn't have nylon, or if I'm working with like the cones from Green Mountain that are 100% wool and very fine. These were $2 each, and they are, doesn't say how much is on there, I don't think. This is the only one with a label. 300 meters, which is a lot. Woolly nylon, here, I'll just show you the label. So no idea what these are or where they're from, but I figured they were worth the $2, and I think he actually gave them to me for even less than that. So grab them, because why not? And then near that store, but it's more of like an antique store, like one of the ones that has little stalls where different people curate collections. So it's like different vendors. So antiques and thrifted and vintage and books and all sorts of stuff like that. There's a store that we like to frequent there. My family has a cabin in Vermont, so we go there pretty often. But there's this little shop in the downtown area, and this is the first time there's been yarn there. So I don't know if there will continue to be yarn there. I would really like that. But somebody clearly, I don't know if she collected these yarns for the purpose of selling or if it was just like a de-stash kind of thing. Because there was a random selection, but a bunch of really nice, a lot of times if you find yarns in like a junk store or a thrift store, they might not be like indie dyed or yarns that you might recognize as far as fancy labels. Still great yarns, still a great way to get some cheap yarn, great way to find vintage yarns, fun stuff like that. But this was like well-known labels, unused skeins, everything, and she has it all. Vendor GC, everything labeled in nice cursive print, and like clearly knew about yarn, not somebody that like cleared out an estate sale and threw it all in boxes. So it has all of the specs. So I think she was probably just clearing out a personal yarn stash, but everything was in plastic bags, separate, organized. You weren't digging through anything. It was very nice. I liked the presentation of it a lot. So I grabbed a couple things from there. Probably could have gotten more, but I was trying to control myself. But I got, I've not actually heard of this brand before, but Classic Elite Yarns. But I love this yellow. Alpaca socks. Exquisite fibers and fabulous colors. I would agree. I have never made alpaca socks, but this is 60% alpaca, 20% merino, 20% nylon, fingering weight, and it is made in Peru. And it's this color if you want to try and hunt that down. But I got 2 skeins of this. And I think she definitely washed, maybe she just stores them. They smell like a wool wash, but they don't look like they've been rehanged, and they all have the labels on them, so I don't think she would have washed them. But they smell good, which is nice as far as buying secondhand yarn. Sometimes if they've been in like a barn or a garage, they smell a little musty, but these smell nice and fresh. So I got 2 of these. Alpaca sometimes really bothers me. I think more so than wool or mohair or anything like that. The long floofies in alpaca, you can see it's like a sheddy dog, which I am allergic to. Alpaca really bothers me sometimes, but I loved this color. This one's obviously been rehanged. It's a little wild, but loved this color, and it's got just like a slight bit of tonality to it. I don't know if it's picking up, but it's not like a solid yellow, and it's a pretty, are you a 2-ply? It's a 2-ply construction, but I think with the nylon and stuff in there, I don't know if I'll use it for socks or if I'll make something else with it. But all the yarns were, like this was $15 for the 2-pack, which I felt like was a pretty good deal. So even like the yarns that I more recognize the brands, like she had some Monostil Uruguay yarns, and some, I'm just trying to think of other brands and stuff that she had in there, but stuff that I recognized that I knew the price point of. They were like probably 30 to 50% off what they normally would be. So I thought that was good. So I got those, and then this, I've never seen Lion brand sock ease, but it was originally $10.40, and I took it out of the bag that it was in, but I think I got it for like $5 or something. And it feels very similar to West Yorkshire Spinner Signature 4-ply, which I think is their sock yarn, and it's finished with aloe vera. I never understand how they put aloe vera into yarns, but there's a lot of yarns that claim that. Do they dip it in the aloe vera? I'm confused because it's not actually part of the content, because it's 75% wool, 25% nylon. And again, it has that very, it's not superwash, very West Yorkshire Spinners if you work with that. Like, I clearly really like this brown color. But I thought this was just, I don't know if I'll make a solid pair of brown socks, but I thought this would be good to have for stripes, contrasts, ribbings, etc. And I don't know if the Lion brand still makes this. It looks like it's one of their older tags back when they had the actual like golden lion on it. But I would be interested to find more of this, maybe in a de-stash if I could, because I like it. So I got that just because, and then I also got, I should probably look at how much this one was because it was a good price. Which one was that? Yeah, the Lion brand was $5, and then this last one that I got with my daughter in mind was $25 for the both of them, which I thought was pretty good. So this is a Monos yarn, Allegria, and Superwash Merino Polyamide, the colorway Dragon, and yeah, it's really pretty color, pinkish reddish. So 2 of these. This one's definitely a little lighter, so I'll need to alternate, but they are both the same colorway, right? I think so. I didn't even check. They're in the back. Yeah, they're both Dragon. Just one's a little bit lighter. Hold on, I hear tiny feet. The troops are getting restless out there. But yeah, my daughter, again, really likes hot pink and light blue are her favorite colors, and this kind of has, maybe it's more purple than blue, but it's got a little bit of blue in it and some hot pink and some red, so I thought this would be, it's a DK, I believe. Your DK weight? 445 yards per 100 grams. Oh, maybe your fingering weight. It's kind of thick though. Sport weight? I think it's claiming to be a fingering weight, but it definitely looks on the thicker side. But either way, I have like 800 plus yards of this, and we'll be able to make my daughter some sort of a cardigan or pullover for the fall. So I thought that that was a pretty good haul of secondhand yarn. You can hear fuss out there, but things are going better than normal, so we're gonna take it as a win. So that is the yarn that I got, and I think that's everything. Yep, I showed you the mini skeins and the thrifted and all the projects. I think that's all I have to show you. And we made it through a podcast. It's so nice to sit down with you. And again, thank you for being here and subscribing and paying attention to when I'm uploading, because it's been a random schedule, and I appreciate you. Not only from a business standpoint, obviously it does make a difference for our family when you like and watch and all of that, comment, income-wise, but I don't know, it's nice to be able to sit down and talk with yarny friends, and this feels like a little community. And who else am I going to tell about my mini skeins and my cat socks? Like, it's nice to have you guys listen. So leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you think about all of this, pattern recommendations, favorite secondhand yarn finds, mindless sock patterns, tank top patterns, all of it. Let me know. And I appreciate you being here, and I will see you in episode 65 sometime soon in the future, maybe, possibly. Thank you for coming along on my yarny journey. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you next time.